Afternoon, everybody. It's around 12:20 here in Phoenix, and look, I'm next to a cactus. I wanted to do something Phoenixy for you during this video. We are outside the courtroom. It's Thursday. It's a beautiful day here, warming up, you can tell, but we've had quite a morning here with Lori Vallow Daybell's trial. Imagine questioning your own sibling about the death of your husband and your other brother who did it, who shot him. That's what we saw play out this morning when Adam Cox took the stand. Adam Cox is Lori's brother. Adam Cox is Alex Cox's brother. He took the stand. First off, the state questioned him about the morning that Alex Cox was shot, or that Alex Cox shot Charles. In fact, they talked about it long before that there were text messages between Charles and Adam where Adam was talking with Charles because Charles was concerned about what Lori Vallow was saying. Things about her being a celestial being, about not needing to repent, things like that. And so and Lori was going to the temple 4 or 5 times a week. And Charles felt that the only way to make her stop, to try to get her back to normal, quote unquote, would to have her temple recommend taken away from her. A temple recommend is a document you get when you're a member of the LDS church that you can get into the temple with, and you have to live certain standards and answer, certain questions to get a recommend. And if Lori were to lose her, Charles thought that it would maybe kind of be an intervention type thing so that she would pay attention and get on the right path. And so they had planned somewhat of an intervention, and the day came when Charles flew into town, Adam flew into town. He was living in Wichita, and they had planned to kind of organize this intervention. Adam was there to see his son Zach, and they were going to record Lori on audio, record her saying some these things that she was saying, and then take it to the church leader, the stake president. Well, they were texting back and forth, Charles and Adam, according to Adam's testimony. And then the morning that Charles was shot, he showed up at the house. He texted Adam and said, they're planning something. He said, Alex is here. And Adam was supposed to stay at Alex's house the night before, but Alex never wrote him back. They were texting back and forth, and he never wrote back, which is very odd. And so when he got the text from Charles saying that Alex was there at Lori's house that early morning, Adam responded, they're planning something. And sure enough, Charles went inside the house and was shot and was killed. And then Adam texted him again and said, we're going to meet up tonight to play basketball. I'll talk to the church leader, the stake president. And he never got a response from Charles's phone. Never heard anything more from Charles, which he thought was very odd. He went the next day to go see a friend in Tucson. And while he was visiting with this friend over the next few days, he told this friend how he was concerned about Charles, and the friend said, well, what's his name? He said Charles Vallow. He Googled his name, and the news story came up that Charles Vallow had been killed. And Adam was stunned. He couldn't believe it. He reached out to his mom and said, do you know that Charles is dead? The mother said yes. And Adam said, what's going on? And she said, well, you tell me what's going on. And that's when he said, we need to talk. He says that he drove to his mother's house. They talked, and this created a major division in the family that he said is since getting a little bit better, but he felt like no one in his family believed him, and Charles didn't say anything to anybody about this to his family because he was worried that they would try to tip Lori off or something like that. Well, then it was Lori's turn to address her brother, and she gets up and she starts by saying Mr. Cox rather than Adam, and goes on to say, when's the last time we saw each other? And goes on to say, in fact, she mentioned the green chili enchiladas that she would always make when the family would get together. And Adam clearly was uncomfortable. I don't want to say uncomfortable. Clearly he was keeping his emotions in check. That's how I interpret it. He was very annoyed in a way that she was asking him these questions. And she's like, you didn't come to Colby's wedding. You didn't, just saying that, they basically insinuating that they had an estranged relationship. And then she asked, did you ever see with your eyes, hear with your ears any evidence that I conspired with Alex Cox to kill Charles Vallow? And he said no, he didn't, and that was her final question. Then Trina K got up on cross and started to ask about the gun that was at the house and other things like that, and then the witness was over. Then Adam Cox was off the stand. He has left the courthouse, and the next witness on the stand right before lunch, Serena Sharp, she was part of the group of Lori's friends that they had would get together and they would do these casting ceremonies, or they did. So she's testifying about that. We just got started with her testimony, and we'll hear more from her after lunch, including Lori if she chooses to cross-examine her. Colby Ryan is here. First time he's come to court. He's sitting on the front row next to Kay Woodcock. I did see him stare at his mother. In fact, after the break, after court was adjourned, and right before we all left for lunch, he just tried to catch his mom's eye. At least that's how I read it. He stared at her, and she, as far as I saw, never turned around to look at him. I don't even know if she's aware he's in the courtroom. It's possible her attorneys have told her that he's there, but we didn't see any eye contact. At least I didn't see any eye contact. So he will be back in court this afternoon, as will we. There's no court tomorrow. The judge has not yet said if there'll be a hearing about Lori's request to have her expert testify, Lonnie Dworkin, about what type of evidence he needs. We'll see if that happens. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, court is going to start. The trial is going to start 30 minutes earlier, so it's going to start at 10. Courtroom is packed today. Every public seat is taken. All the media seats are taken. So we have a lot of people in there that are here, that are interested in the trial, and we're streaming it. You can go watch it on our YouTube channel, and then tonight we'll break it all down on Courtroom Insider, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. And then we'll take your questions. So if you have any, let me know, and we'll be back inside the courtroom here very shortly. We're going to head inside, but it is a very beautiful day. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Nate Eaton. We'll see you.